Hello, you made it to page 2 and a bit of an explanation as to the way I work and why it's different. So, as you may have already read, I like to combine 3 different types of coaching which engage the whole body. And using these 3 different modalities, we have 3 different ways to come at a problem or finding a solution. That's generally what people have, right? You have a problem, you want to get a solution. And so we can engage with all 3 modalities in it, obviously. The first modality was my first part of coaching, which is cognitive coaching, which is the more kind of classical coaching, which you'll probably understand most life coaching or career coaching or leadership coaching to be. And that's a place where you sit down with somebody in 2 chairs and you talk about the future, what's the problem, what are the goals, what are the limiting beliefs that are getting in the way and the blocks, and how do you create incremental steps to get to that place. And that's very good, that works very nicely. But we also understand that the brain and the mind can totally get in the way of moving forward, let's say. We always have these kind of, well, I'd love to do this, but I can't do that. Or, our attention to what's wrong in life can stop us really appreciating what's right, and maybe that might be the path forward. So the second piece, the somatic work, this was the second part of my interest. While I was training in cognitive coaching, I realized that some of the tools we were using were pieces like visualization and also what we would call future pacing, which is physically moving a client, getting them out of their seat, moving them forward on a timeline, and then working backwards to the point they are today. And actually, while they're in those steps moving backwards, really getting a sense in their body about what was really important to them and connecting that, their thoughts and their ideas to actual physical sensations, and then solidifying that even more so. And yes, I will do a piece on future pacing in a later video. So the third point, or the third part, is actually embodiment. Embodiment is, as I heard this term the other day, is the way that our body creates and expresses ourselves. It's the shape that we create whenever we, just throughout the whole day. Whether we're kind of sad and lonely and feel kind of a bit sad, shame and scared, versus kind of feeling very confident and proud and maybe kind of excited about something. Now, these were 2 very simple explanations, but they really do make a big difference as to how we feel when we move into those states. Again, I will explain this further in more detail when we come to some more videos, but with those 3, when we have used our brain with the cognition, and we use our body and the somatic work on the inside, and then we use the external expression, we can start to create a very powerful way of moving forward and creating solutions for people's problems. So I'm going to create some videos that will show how that works. The format will be where I will introduce the video, I'll talk a little bit about it, maybe how I would maybe approach the situation in a cognitive, somatic, and then an embodied way. I've got my yoga mat ready. And so you can see a little bit about how that might work. So when we have these 3 pieces, our mind, our internals, which, our heart, our feeling, and then our actions, we create a really strong, aligned and balanced way of working and moving forward, creating new ideas and strategies, and then implementing them, really getting behind it. So it's incredibly powerful. Each session that I work in is completely different. Sometimes we're just going to sit. Sometimes we're going to get moving. And sometimes we're going to actually be talking. So sometimes we're going to be moving and then talking about it. Or we might move and then understand how we're feeling about that movement. And then we'll talk about it. And so it's a really fun and interactive physical space that I like to keep with clients. I like it to be interesting, I like it to be dynamic, and I hope that people get a huge amount of benefit and value out of it. Not only are we understanding our kind of learned patterns, but we're also creating new patterns for ourselves, which is the basis for change. So if you don't like something, understand what's happening, what you're thinking, how you're behaving, become aware of it, create understanding about what you'd like to change and be different, implement that, move forward. So that's a little bit of an explanation about my coaching. As I said, I will be making some videos and I hope you enjoy those, and they explain a little bit more about how I work. And if that's of interest to you, we can talk further. Cool. Thank you very much. Have a great day.